Yeah, I've seen a lot of that firsthand over the last 10 years or so. I've seen a couple dozen people in sales and marketing roles that were working for data center operators that left and went to adjacent spaces. In a lot of cases, SaaS companies or managed services companies or something related to telecom. And I'm sure they're just finding better opportunity there. But you have to wonder at the end of the day with the data center operators, the digital infrastructure companies that are constantly complaining about talent shortages and not able to fill these jobs, what they're thinking, letting talent go to adjacent industries. Are they really thinking this through? And is there a more creative approach to saying, okay, this person hit a wall in their particular job? What could 3 months make a huge difference in cross-training them into an area of higher growth? You wonder at some point if retention uh, should be a bigger goal than it currently is, as opposed to just on the recruitment side.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean,
And
you gotta,
lateral
it's
moves
just,
within companies.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just like customers. Yeah, of course, you gotta generate the leads, you gotta win them, and then you gotta retain them. That's the cycle. It's a three-part cycle. Same thing with employees. And then the way that we retain employees is, if their job, let's say, is getting obsolete, you gotta cross-train them. If they have a good attitude, man, just train them. I always say whenever hiring new talent is, hire for attitude, and then train for skills. Train for experience. And same thing with existing employees. They got to take the initiative as well. The employee has to go to their employer and say, "Here's what I'd like to do. Here's sort of training that the company may not offer that I'd like support in." And then this is kind of where I see myself, right? So it's a two part role here. The employer, the manager, needs to kind of keep an eye for that and challenge the employee, and say, well, here's some opportunities. They're going to require some training. We'll help support you. The employee also has to be willing and also take the initiative to come to their employer, to come to their manager, and say, here's a set of things that I want to do. Which ones is the company interested in? I mean, again, for us to perform our best, I always say we have to perform in our magic zone. And the magic zone is basically a Venn diagram that is composed of three circles, right? The first one is you're doing something you love. You got to do something you love, right? But that's not enough, because you may love building sandcastles. The second question that you have to ask yourself is that you got to also be doing something that you're good at. So again, just doing something you love and something that you're good at may not be good enough to make a meaningful living. You may be good at building sandcastles and you may love building sandcastles, but people aren't willing to pay you more than $5 for building sandcastle. For them, that's not going to support your lifestyle unless you want to live as a bum on the beach, right? So then the third one is the third part of the Venn diagram is, that a company, society is willing to pay you for enough to sustain your lifestyle. So it's the intersection of these three areas: something that you love to do, that you can get up in the morning, love to do. The second thing is something that you're really good at, and the third thing is something that society or someone is willing to pay you for enough to sustain the lifestyle that you choose for yourself. And then once we're in that magic zone, this is when we shine. This is when we do our best. This is when we feel appreciated because we're paid well. We're doing something we're passionate about and something that we're good at.
Because there's these well-trodden paths of, like, you see people being promoted from like SDRs into AEs. You see some people that are really good at retaining existing clients, but not so good at hunting for new. So they move into like account manager, customer success kind of roles. But just moving from go to market. Let's say somebody wants to move into more of an IT career. They want to move into operations or cybersecurity or something like that. Yeah. So it's a matter of figuring out. A lot of companies are pay referral bonuses for bringing in new. So there's a lot of experimenting that I think companies are going to be doing in the coming years to figure out all of the different angles on talent. I think most of the cycles are being spent right now on technology roles, because that seems to be the biggest shortage. But yeah, there's for sure some leaks in the bucket on the go-to-market side also.